David Hogg, the vice chair of the DNC, has just created an all-out civil war among Democrats. He announced this week that the PAC that he kind of formed before he was vice chair of the DNC is going to donate money to primary old establishment Democrats. And guys, I'm not a fan at all of David Hogg. He's despicable, I think. I've talked about it before. But this is very interesting. Here's a clip of him talking about his goal with all of this.
Quickly, for those who would say any party that's in distress, and a party like the Democrats after the 2024 election is clearly in distress, has no time for a strategic circular firing squad.
I wouldn't call this a circular firing squad necessarily. What I would call this is an embrace of the very thing that many of our older members fought to create after the 1968 DNC, which was a further mass adoption of the popular primary process, right? We've replaced those smoke-filled back rooms that they fought so hard against creating with a culture of seniority politics that is killing the future of our party, because the litmus test of whether or not you remain in a position is no longer, are you the best person to be in that position? The litmus test is, well, how long have you been there? That's not acceptable. It needs to be, are you the best person to meet this moment when our country is in crisis and so many of our young people feel like democracy is not delivering for them? Because we go out there as Democrats all the time and say democracy is the most important thing. We have to defend democracy. We fail to acknowledge that this generation, democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings. It's what's put us through the climate crisis and so much more. What we have to do is prove that democracy matters by standing up to the special interests that are killing the American dream and making our young people lose faith, not only in our party, but the future of this country.
That is interesting. That's interesting. I have my doubts as to whether Hogg is actually going to execute on that vision, but you'll notice those kind of core ideas that he's talking about are not unlike what Donald Trump was talking about back in 2016 when he was trying to, and successfully, reformed the Republican Party. He is openly admitting, there's kind of two things that are really important that Donald Trump admits. He is openly admitting here that a majoritarian democracy has its flaws. And that is interesting. Hence, the reason why we're a republic. I mean, that is why we're called Republicans, for those of you who are in the Republican Party. And so that's the first interesting idea. A lot of Democrats aren't willing to admit that we are not, in fact, a democracy. We are a republic, and that's important. And then he says that the meritocracy is better than DEI. That's essentially what he says there. He's like, no, we're not just doing this for some ancillary reason. It's because they're the best. And that's interesting. The problem with that is there's honestly two problems with what he's saying here. I don't know if establishment Democrats can be pushed out like that, because I think you look at how ingrained they are in the deep state. I just don't know. I don't know if it's possible to do what he's saying. The other problem is I don't think Democrats can bring themselves to rely on merit alone like he's talking about. Like David Hogg is essentially saying DEI is crap there without saying it, but no other Democrat's going to go along with that. They are not going to. David Hogg comes out and he says, he didn't say this specifically, but he's essentially saying, I don't care if you're black, white. It's the Republican argument. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic. I don't care. We just want the best, right? Say that, I dare you, to Jasmine Crockett and AOC. They will freak out. They will freak out. That is not what they believe at all. So I don't think that vision is going to get picked up by the other Democrats. That is a huge problem. One of the reasons, though, I say that as well is, and this is fascinating, I'll show you right now. Right after he says that, he says in the same interview, he suggests that Joe Biden was super successful and that we need, and I'm talking in terms of his voice, that he needs more Democrats like Joe Biden. So I'm going to show you that clip right now because it's pretty funny.
President Biden was as successful as he was, I would argue, because he started when he was 29, which I know is hard for some younger people to believe. But if you look at FDR, if you look at LBJ, they started all before they were 30, and they became that successful because they were that young.
So
and right now, those leaders don't have that chance.
Thing.
Well, part of it is, but there's also the fact that a lot of our members of all ages, not just older people, there are older members that are meeting this moment.
So on one hand, he's saying he wants to oust the establishment. And on the other hand, he's saying that Joe Biden was fantastic and that the longer that people are in politics, the better they are. And this ultimately, I think, is why Democrats are screwed. They've got some ideas of reforming, like Hogg saying meritocracy is good, things like that. But they cannot bear to admit simple truths that would help them actually move forward. For instance, like Biden was a garbage president and nobody liked them. Again, if you believe that Biden was good, you are doomed to repeat his mistakes. And that's what David Hogg, I don't know if David Hogg is just saying that to appease the people that he needs to appease, or if he actually believes that. But if he actually believes Biden's going to be good and that he was good and that more people like him are good, they're going to keep failing. As we've all noticed, Biden-like policies lead to GOP victories, which I'm fine with. I'm totally good with that. But I'm just saying, I don't know what David Hogg is saying. I don't think he's going to be able to execute on what he's saying right there. Guys, I want to take a quick moment to talk about something that affects a lot of us, bloating. Whether it's after a meal or it just happens because it's a busy day, bloating is uncomfortable and it is distracting, and it often comes from how our body breaks down food or doesn't break down food. And that's where D-Bloat from Lumo comes in. It is a supplement that combines digestive enzymes and probiotics, giving your body what it needs to break down carbs, proteins, and fats more efficiently, relieving bloating in under an hour. And here's the stat, guys, that you won't listen up for this. Around 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So when digestion's off, everything's gonna feel off too. D-Bloat is made with just 4 clean ingredients to fix that: papaya, pineapple, tempeh, and soybean. I love it. It's easy to use, guys. It's very, again, 4 clean ingredients. You can't get enough of it. 1 capsule within 20 minutes of a meal, and that is it. So go right now. You can get 15% off for my viewers at trylumo.co with code CAR, or you can go to the link in the description below. Again, that is trylumo.co, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.